never be a memory.
And what's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. Back like we ain't never left, baby. So, definitely have some interesting things to talk about today. And really, what I want is your perspective on it. But before we get into that, we do have exclusive footage of Joe Biden being handsy Uncle Joe. This is exclusively leaked footage, and the rest of the media isn't airing this, and I think we should all take a look. Hello? Huh? Okay. Yeah. Yeah. We actually can't confirm or deny if this is Joe Biden. The handsiness seems to depict what a Joe Biden would do, but they can't tell if the footage has been doctored or not. So watch at your own risk and use your own discretion. If you ask me, that's a handsy Uncle Joe if I've ever seen one. But moving on. So there's been a lot of backlash within the last day of my last upload. Actually, I did an upload commenting on Yang, and how he was reacting to Asian Americans being attacked during this pandemic, and about Trump using the words Chinese virus. And look, probably on your screen right now, this is the kind of thing that's been floating around social media. Okay, so it we're not living in a dream. We're not trying to push some narrative. Like, this is actually happening. People have been getting physically attacked, and people have been getting attacked emotionally, and it just ain't right. And so I did a video of Yang talking about it. But it seems since then, or even maybe before that video, but during the time of me being engrossed in that video, I guess all the rest of this stuff was happening. Yang received some backlash. And I guess what they're saying is that Andrew Yang told Asian Americans to prove their Americanness. And there's been a backlash. And Asian Twitter, yes, that's such a thing. People were actually surprised that's a thing. There's Black Twitter, there's Asian Twitter, there's different subsects of Twitter. It's actually quite astonishing. But Asian Twitter and just people in general have sort of spoken out against what Yang was saying. Now, again, really what I'm here for is to report to you what they're saying and to ask your opinion, my viewers, because this seems like quite the touchy subject. And it's one that I can't quite fully delve into with me not being Asian American. I can never truly understand how you feel about it. I can give similar experiences with me being African American and try to relate that to yours and try to speak from that point. But at the end of the day, you're you, and this is your culture, and this is your ethnicity, and only you can really truly tell me and everybody else how you feel about it. So, Washington Post has been hammering Yang on this. Let me tell you, they've been hammering Yang. Vox has spoken out about him. It's interesting. I will say this. It's interesting how Yang suddenly became super popular, or people became ultra aware of Andrew Yang after he ended his presidential campaign. Nothing but positive light, positive reviews. The people in the Yang gang that's followed Yang for quite a long time, since the beginning, positive reviews. And then this one, I don't know if you want to call it an incident or his opinion. This one time he gives his opinion that not everyone disagrees with. I've seen some people straight tossing him aside. Oh, he's done with. I'm done with Andrew Yang. Huge disappointment. I don't know if I could do that unless this is something that is super duper important to you. If this is something that you're hyper aware of what he said, if it just bothers you to that nth degree that you're done with the person, you're done with his policy. Well, you don't even have to be done with his policies. You can still advocate for his policies. But if you're done with him as a person, unless you're just super hyper aware of this issue, I'm very surprised that some people have tossed Yang aside. That I've seen being Yang Gang since the beginning. Very, very surprised. But I digress. So, what articles are saying is that former presidential candidate Andrew Yang made a stunning argument in a Washington Post op-ed this week to combat the recent surge in hate crimes and racism amid the coronavirus pandemic. He suggested Asian Americans should showcase just how American they are through acts of patriotism and community. Effectively, he wrote, Asians can help end racism by being the best citizens we can be. We Asian Americans need to embrace and show our Americanness in ways we never have before. We need to step up, help our neighbors out, donate gear, vote, wear red and white and blue, volunteer, fund aid organizations, and do everything in our power to accelerate the end of this crisis. We should show without a shadow of a doubt that we are Americans who will do our part for our country in this time of need. Yang, who came to this conclusion after an unsettling experience of his own, appears to believe that contributing civilly in a visible way is the best approach to respond to acts of prejudice. While it's entirely fair for him to want to confront such biases in his own way, the application of his reasoning is where things get concerning. There's certainly a worthwhile case to be made that everyone, regardless of their background, should be stepping up and helping their communities during this devastating crisis, but Yang's point is specifically aimed at Asian Americans. In fact, he suggests that Asian Americans as a group need to demonstrate that they are positive contributors to society just to be treated as equals. It's a deeply flawed argument that puts the onus on Asian Americans to make themselves more palatable to those who would discriminate against them. It's also among the latest to advance a misguided theory of respectability politics. So, this is what he's been getting hit with all over. For the last 24 hours, this is what I've been seeing. So, look, I'm just going to level with you guys. This same thing has been said to all sorts of different colors. To black and brown people all throughout history, throughout my life. To put your best foot forward, to make that extra effort to show these people that you're different and blah, 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 so they can respect you and blah, 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 blah. From, like I said, from black and brown people throughout my history, throughout life, I've seen this said to my friends. I've seen this said to me. And it's what they're suggesting is that's being said to Asian Americans as well. So I can see why people would be visibly upset. But I don't think that's how he meant it. I know. I can hear you now. Read my lips. Oh, you're just a Yang Gang fan. You're just covering for Yang. You're covering for Yang. Blah, 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 blah. You can't even admit when... No, look. I, myself, have always been critical of all the candidates, including Andrew Yang. If there's something he says I don't like, something he does that I don't like, I call it out. I don't give a fuck who says what in the comment sections if they're angry about it. Because I have to be me. Right? I have to be me. I can't be a bot. I can't be a sheep. So if there's something that happens, I'm going to call it out and I'm going to say, yo, he was wrong. Listen, I went back and forth with Yang Gang about Yang's take on Medicare for All for the longest. and got so much pushback, tons of pushback, right? But you got to be true to yourself, okay? And so I'm more than willing to critique Andrew Yang if he has done something that I disagree with. That being said, if you look at it as black and white with what Andrew Yang has said, I can see why some people would be bothered or disturbed by it. But I truly don't think that's how he meant it. I really don't. I truly don't think that's how he meant it. I don't think he meant it in the spirit of how it's reflected in how he said it. I really don't. I just truly don't. I think he chose his words wrong. And I get what he was trying. Even the articles I read say they get what he's trying to say. But you shouldn't have to prove yourself to be an American by doing extra or wrapping myself in red, white, and blue and putting stars all over my fucking body and shit. Like, you don't have to go that extra mile to prove to racists or to prove to the ignorant that you're American. I get it, right? I don't think he meant it that way. I really don't. I think the spirit of what he was saying was genuine. I really do. And I would encourage him, if he already has, you guys let me know. I haven't seen it, but if he has, let me know. If I was him, I would reword how he felt at this point. Unless he just wants to stick by it and that's how he truly feels. But I would reword it because, yeah, nobody should have to go out of their way to prove their Americanness. I don't give a fuck. You don't have to do a goddamn thing but exist. You don't got to do anything. Nobody, period. And I went through this in my last video. If you haven't seen it, check it out. Nobody has the right to put their fucking hands on you or harass you or do the things that they're doing because they're fucking ignorant. They don't have that right. You don't have to do anything extra for anybody else. Full stop. So, I mean, I've been getting smacked in the face with these articles, and it's all over Twitter, and it's all over social media. I actually saw something from Paget recently. She spoke on it, and here's what she had to say. She said, I had a very similar background to Yang. I grew up in a predominantly white area. I always stood up for myself. Do you know what the kid who tried so hard to assimilate with their popular white crowd got? Shallow friendships, but constant small dick jokes. That's not dignity. Andrew Yang, running for president, has done more to move the Asian American community forward in representation than anyone ever has in politics. I also disagree with his op-ed. Both can exist at the same time. Let's stop being crappy and purists on both sides just because we're bored. I completely agree. Like I said, I think Yang should reword that op-ed and rethink his stance on it because I believe the spirit of what he was trying to say was just, but when you put it out there in black and white and you put it in the stratosphere, it does not play very well, let me tell you. And people let that be known. People didn't, and I like that. I do like that they didn't bite their tongue and they voiced their opinions. Now, that being said, like Paget was saying, has Yang done more for the Asian American community than anyone ever has in politics? Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. So that goes back to what I was saying. Are you just going to throw Andrew Yang away because you disagree with his op-ed? The man is only human. For a while, I was wondering if he was a Saiyan disguised as a mortal human walking amongst us. I still, to this day, wonder if he's a fucking Saiyan. But from what I can see, he's human, and he is allowed to make mistakes. And, this is possibly one of them. Do I still advocate for his policies? Absolutely. And really, what I want to hear is your opinion on the matter. Everyone that follows my channel, everyone that follows Yang, if you follow Paget, which I'm pretty sure almost everyone that follows my channel does follow Paget or has followed Paget at some point. But I really want to hear your opinion on this because, again, I can only give my opinion as an African American male, and if it was switched around, how I would react to it. I would assume it's in a similar way to what everyone else is reacting to. But I'm not going to throw Andrew Yang away. Um, I really want him to tackle this again. And be honest. Don't give us what we want to hear or say what you think we want you to say, but tackle it again if this came off wrong. Um, because yeah, he is getting some heat. He's getting some heat. So, uh, yeah, what are your thoughts, guys? Again, this is my third time asking. Let me know in the comment section below. And how you guys holding up through this crisis, man? Through this pandemic? Um, it's 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 tough right now. It's tough. You still see I got the caveman beard. It's tough. Like I went to go buy some weights, and they're grossly overpriced right now. So that'll do it for today. I just wanted to bring you that story. I could delve super deep into it. I could go for article for article for article. But really, I just want to hear from you guys, your take on it, because it's one of the rare instances I've seen through Yang's, rise, where people are sort of split on what he said, besides Medicare for All. This is the only other time people are split, so let me know in the comment section below. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you don't, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. I have a Cash App, a PayPal, and a Venmo link in the description below. Please feel free to donate to the channel. Every little bit helps. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.